Hello. Throughout this video, I'm going to be listening to Bull of Heaven, not because I wish to show how much of a fucking nerd I am, but because it's the only public domain music that I can listen to whilst playing Minecraft that doesn't make me want to kill myself. I believe I have put that, I have gotten that out of the way. I have justified my one creative decision. And oh, I was shooting the thumbnail earlier. Fuck. I completely forgot. And yeah, I'm unsure of where to go from here. Both in terms of conversations. No, I came in knowing exactly what I was going to talk about today, which is why I even bothered showing up to the world at all. The question of the matter is, how do I actually segue into each of them, respectively? See, I'm getting better at public speaking. I can talk about things that aren't about how fucking fried my thought processes are, and instead focus on just, like, talking about things I want to talk about. So, yeah, that out of the way, I have no fucking idea what I'm gonna do in this, in the game. What is that? What is that? Oh, it's a sap. I don't like this behavior coming from the wolves. I don't really like this behavior coming from the wolves. Okay. It's been too long and I haven't opened with anything philosophical yet. But that's just because I want to get into the game before I actually do. And I know, like, oh, you fucking idiot. That's bad. For YouTube retention. How can you say that you're making a YouTube video without recognizing the importance of what you're doing? And to that I say, bitch. You person that I just invented in my head, you don't even know me. You think you know me, but you don't. I have no idea how I can give an impression that anybody can know what I'm about, really. Because in my perspective, I am so multifaceted and operations that people are just too fucking stupid to see how fucking great I am in every single, like, department. And, you know, woe is me, all of that, but it is true. I just am simply better than everybody. I'm being facetious, obviously. I don't fucking like it when someone has that to say about the self. That's not something that I quite enjoy. Nor is it something that I take pride in making fun of just now. Really, all of this has just been me avoiding the question because I'm scared that if I answer the question too early, then I won't be fun. And I don't know what that entails, really. I want to get the most amount of time that I can get out of this. The absolute, like, best N amount of hours that I can get. Because, you know, I gotta be honest with you. I woke up at 9 p.m. It's 11:20 a.m. right now. I am doing terribly. Of course, I'm not doing anywhere near as terribly as the first video in the series, but you know, shit changes. Shit doesn't change. People don't change. You're slipping Jimmy. Oh, hi, Redstone. That probably needs an iron pick, doesn't it? Fuck. It's 4 redstone and... no, 4 iron and a redstone to get things that I want to get, right? Well, it looks like I'm not going any farther. Given the great big pit of lava. Anyways, I guess I'll just fucking say it. The question I was trying to... question I started this off with, hoping to get an answer to, was the question of language. And I know what you're thinking. And first off, yes, I do recognize that you are not a representation of the audience. Rather, you are my own interpretation of the self. I recognize that. You do not have to declare that to me. Second off, like, fuck, I got so fucking tangented that I lost my initial train of thought. You know, it's really funny. The first video, I sounded like I was on a disso. In this video, I sound like I'm on a stimulant. I have never done drugs in my life. I don't know why I'm acting this way. Like, earlier, a while back, I got on a friend's case for doing drugs and having a dependency on him. And as people with drug dependencies tend to do, they hated me for it. I mean, I probably wasn't graceful enough, but yeah. Come on. Do you really need to do me like that? I'm saying too much. None of this is really necessary for any onlooking audience to know. I'm just screwing it up because I can. I'm just screwing it up because I can ruin my good graces with anyone, given enough time. Ah, fuck. Why are there so many creepers? get why they don't burn. Neat. The question I was supposed to raise was about language. And it circles back to the kindness thing I was talking about yesterday too, because, you know, I hold language in contempt. And, you know, it is our there's a boat there? It is our only way of communicating with each other. I will say that. Like we have a lot of like little micro things that can convey like information. We can make gestures, we can make everything else, but like that it's all just different dialects of language basically. All communication is that it is an operation of thought on a level that is entirely a level of thought that is collective thought that is entirely detached from, not detached, a couple layers below like conventional thought. And when I say conventional thought, I mean the kinds of shit that goes on in your head. Your internal world. The things that you see, the patterns that you see in the random electric beams, bolts firing in your head all the time. You don't get to transmit that. You get to transmit different sequences of electricity and bolts into other people's heads, but you don't get to transmit that specific thing. That is shit that is going to die with you. And I think kindness, part of kindness, in order to be a truly kind person, you have to understand that. You have to understand that very thoroughly. And that what that gets you is not immunity to misunderstandings, but seeing words for how they are. Seeing that they're not as serious as they are. That words are just simulacra of the real thing. And that basing your identity off them is something stupid. Which is also something I went on about last time around, but it was also like in service of the conversation about ego. In which I kind of went off about someone, making themselves, or designating themselves with labels that kind of didn't need to be there through inventing a new genre and whatnot. The kind of micro categorization that plagues you. The kind of micro categorization that makes you a husk of your former self. The kind of micro categorization that whenever you talk to someone, your upper layer of conscious kind of entirely turns off. You now exist on that lowered layer, that plaza of conversation. And I say it's a plaza because I always use this analogy that you know, we're all in our own towers, and we can't really talk to each other, but we can we can send our little, I don't want to say slaves, our little servants to send messages through the plaza, through the collective plaza. And those messages are inherently limited by virtue of needing to be remembered by two parties. The party one obviously being the servant that you sent out, and the party two being the servant that the other guy in the other tower sent out. And do the exact mechanisms of this matter as I describe them? Fuck no. I'm using this to, like, validate the analogy, because obviously, fuck. I've lost, I say that to validate the train of thought, and I lost it, because I went on a tangent too hard, and tangents are dangerous. I feel so animated today, and I don't. It's the sleep deprivation, right? You know, you can get the same kind of intoxicating effects that you might, socially, both by either doing an intoxicant, which I did not and have never done in my life. I would like to do weed at one point, but because I live in California and it's legal to do that here, but I have never done a drug of any kind. That's not true. I have a prescription for Lexapro, but I've been on and off that. Caused in part by my mom, actually. Thanks for that. Oh, it was still here. Okay. I might as well patch up that hole instead of just leaving it as an ugly crater. So I was going on about the plaza metaphor. Yeah, no, because obviously, you know, those two guys don't exist in real life. The two guys who are transmitting messages from towers don't exist in real life, but we need an excuse for there to be a lower standard of communication. For there to be, like, information loss between the two towers. And so that was what I was getting at with the whole analogy. What was I getting at? No, okay. Two guys in a tower, they gotta both communicate on a lower level of communication. They can never transmit what exactly is in the tower, but they can produce simulacrums. They can produce simulacra, is what I'm saying. And you know, it's not the real thing. It's a signifier that points to a thing, but it's not the real thing. It could never be the real thing. Why could it never be the real thing? Because we're not telepathic. Because we don't live in a utopia in which we can actively, like, scout other people's internal worlds and just, like, I don't know, be blessed with a gift of knowledge. That you You don't have to make a work of art in order to have your internal world known. You can just communicate it. But even then, like, you make a work of art, it's not your internal world by that point. It's a simulacra of it. No matter how accurate you try to make it, you're not transmitting anything. You're making a new thing based on the thing that is inside your head. You have not made the initial world any more accessible by having made the art. Does that make the art bad? Why is that even a question, you see? The obvious answer to that question is fuck no. Because the existence of that art means that you can create your own internal world based on that world that has been presented to you, that external world. And that now lives in your head. It now lives in your head. A head now lives in you. I live ahead. Many things now live in head. I was trying to get my son some hay while he was 1 year old. I'm sorry. I was being insensitive there. Surely I must go to my punishment room to get some punishment. Good lord, I'm hyperactive right now. Okay. Let's stay in one place for a moment. Let's, turn off the music. And just stop and think about what's going on for the moment. So I have problems with Word. I have a lot of problems with Word. I have a lot of problems with art, and I have a lot of problems with making it. Because when I plan a piece of art, I expect it to be this, like, massive, massive thing. I expect it to be exactly the thing that I have imagined in my head. Right? And you can imagine that as a utopian Radcliffian sort of mindset of looking at art. But as I have observed, that exact adherence to the initial plan, it does not happen. I mean, in small strokes it can, I think. You can make the small sound. The small sound. Or you can make the big sound. Or you can make the small sound. Or you can make the big sound. And all of that just kind of melds into one. You can hear a sound in your head and then make it in the real world, basically. But even then, that sound is just a simulacrum of the actual thing. It is the equivalent of word is to mind what music is to audiation. Yeah. What plan is to the final work. And people tend to claim that there's a sort of generation loss in that. A generation loss in how many layers of polish a work gets. And all that. None of this quite matters. That's not the problem that I had. That's not a problem I have. Alright. That's not the problem I have. The language problem. Oh, yeah, right. Should make an iron pick. I keep going the wrong direction, and I exit to the right. Sometimes you just gotta let yourself be bored. That leads into the problem that I was having. That every waking day is an escape from boredom. For some, that it's easier to make your life harder and harder to make your life easier. And when you're at the making your life harder for easier point in time, you are going to reach rock bottom. You are going to find yourself wondering why you're alive at all. You are going to find yourself at the crossroads between two hard things. Hard thing one. Make your life a better life. Learn to enjoy it. Easier said than done by every possible metric, but not impossible, I don't believe. Though, when you're at that rock bottom point, I believe that you can convince yourself that anything is impossible. As is that when you're at a similar rock bottom point with regards to arrogance instead of depression, you can convince yourself that everything is possible. You can convince yourself that you worst conditions that you are sustaining are valid for you specifically. Specifically for losing my train of thought again. It's hitting me now that I wasn't being as articulate as I thought I would be. It might be a repeat of episode 1 again. Just on a different spectrum. For a different reason. I'll figure it out. You can convince yourself anything. And the world, being the world that we live in, will be dead set on proving you right. This world will be dead set on proving you right. Give it a moment. I have something I need to do, and then I need to get up and then talk. About my feelings. So, when I started that conversation, I wanted to segue those two things into each other. I wanted to do a couple things. I wanted to take the initial concept of of language being as inherently bullshit as it is, um, and segue that into the concept of kindness, um, and how I believe kindness translates into that is through how I believe kindness translates into that is through not taking each other's words to heart. Now, what do you think I mean by that? Do you think I mean that you should be engaging in irony all the time? The answer to that is simultaneously yes and no, because I also don't believe um, sincerity by word is enough either. I think that where sincerity by word or art is enough either. I think that um, kindness can only really be achieved if you really try to understand someone, regardless of how fruitless of an endeavor that might be, given that you have absolutely no frame of reference. You have words, of course, but you don't have the frame of reference of what it's like to be inside that person's mind. What makes someone kind is that you can try. What makes you kind is if you try to be that person, to try to actually put yourself within the shoes or the footprint of that person. Fuck. I have something to do. I made it sound like if something happened. Something terrible happened just now. But it didn't. And again, I lost my train of thought. As a matter of the something that happened before the thing that happened. True kindness is understanding, putting yourself in the shoes of the other person, yada yada yada. Kindness is trying to put yourself in their shoes and trying to understand what exactly you would need if you were them. To and to be able to do that with everyone all the time. To be able to love everyone all of the time. To be able to love everyone unconditionally all the time. To be able to forgive all the time. Whilst also being able to keep up enough of a wall to be able to forgive all the time. Whilst also keeping yourself away from the news all the time. Whilst also keeping yourself away from the broad strokes of how fucking terrible the world is gonna get. All the time. To ignore everything with regards to the shareholders that are actively making the shit that we use miserable. All of the time. To avoid thinking about everything all the time. To instead focus on the things that are around you. To instead focus on the things that you can change as opposed to the things that you cannot. To instead focus on your own breathing as opposed to the world crumbling beneath your feet. To imagine, to walk off a cliff and imagine that the ground will continue underneath your feet, even if it won't. Do you see, then, why it is so easy to catch yourself in a particularly dark position. Do you see then why it feels as if you are trapped between an inex um no, I undersold it. I entirely undersold it. I can okay. I went over all of the of the dangers of the outside world without actually getting into the getting into the reason why I believe language is fucking fucking false prophet in the first place. So, uh, language lets you keep a lot of fake friends who do not have your interests in mind. And you won't know that if you keep their words at bay, or not at bay, if you keep their words at face value. Um, Sometimes people are too scared to say anything that really reflects themselves. And sometimes you might be too. And instead of confronting that head on, it's just an uphill battle into eternally making yourself just more and more and more and more and more. An island of just something incommunicable. You can't communicate with each other. You can't. You've long since passed even trying to get to the point of each other's of the role of you guys in each other's lives. You haven't even gotten to the point of like you just you just don't want to be bored. That's who you hang around with. You just don't want to be bored. You hang around with people who don't really know how to communicate, except through signs and words and things that they think will make you happy. And you can only say things that you think will make other people happy, rather than just saying what's on your mind. And art has a way of bypassing these norms by virtue of being a big object, right? It's just like a big object that exists without any conversation preceding or following it. It's a conversation that just isn't there. And it's a conversation that isn't there. And so you find yourself in a situation in which every every little thing you do is a symbol. It's not it, it rarely points to anything else. When it points to something else, it's because it's cool for the symbol to finally point somewhere else, but typically that leads you with anger, because anger is a very easy emotion to feel. Especially when you're like me and you're scared of boredom. And you know, you've got all these companies based entirely on shareholder profits as opposed to user experience, that none of it really, they don't really give a shit about you. They want to make you angry because it's what makes them money and all. So you've got yourself surrounded by a bunch of people who you don't even know. You've got yourself surrounded by a bunch of people who you think are your friends. They're friends nominally, but you don't know who they are. They've never shown you any part of themselves. Their worlds to you are completely unknown. And as a result, your world to you is completely unknown. This is how you die. This is how you find yourself at rock bottom. To to find yourself caught up in semiotics and semantics. The word itself as opposed to what the word signifies. Um, that none of it makes sense. And there's wildlife in my field of vision. That's really cute. And the world is still going to be turning whether or not I want it to. And you're at rock bottom, and the only two places you can go are a hard place and a harder place. The harder place is getting yourself back up. Learning to see the world for how it is. Making new friends, which of course is impossible in today's climate. Making new friends. One, impossible. Who don't also speak in signs, who won't also send you into a fit of agony. Impossibility, too. You're gonna have to turn your life around, start caring about yourself. Impossibility 3, you know, how you're gonna care about yourself when nobody cares about you. Especially if, you know, everybody above doesn't care about you. You know, they're actively trying to legislate you out of existence. What the fuck do you even need anything for? And all your friends are fake. All the politicians hate you. Your existence is a point of contention within every single circle of God knows where. You're depressed as fuck. You're not represented anywhere. You are a normal person. In particularly stupid circumstances. I think people are depressed because they have a level, a sort of layer of dissociation perpetually. It's you know, I think people want to be honest, but they've learned that honesty does not get you anywhere. That kindness doesn't really get you anywhere. That in order to get what you want, you have to become a shark to be able to get your way with people. That's what I believe communication with word is about. Every time I've been outside or tried communicating in a public server, for instance, or like talk to someone who I didn't know before, it's always felt like an endless matrix of mutual manipulation that we are both just meant to understand that we're both supposed to be manipulating each other, and that's just the unspoken agreement. Um, you know, you can imagine that you're being as truthful as you want, but that agreement is still there. That you're both mutually manipulating each other. It's hard to think about that. It's hard not to think about it like that when that's all you've ever known. It's hard not to think about it like that when someone actually cares for you. Because nobody does, really. I imagine that there is a kind of capability that is kind of lacked within some people in order to be kind and place themselves into another person's shoes. It's the language. I think language ruins everything. I think it is a terrible fucking shame. We're social animals. We would die without language, but sometimes just doesn't feel worth it. I said this in a microcosm, in a recurring motif that I had been using. It read, "Thank you for letting me join your masquerade." Because that's all the wider social circle is to me. It's a masquerade. It's large, 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 large circles and circles and circles and circles and circles of mutual manipulation. And that's okay. You know? So long as it exists, it's okay. And maybe I'll get into that later when I'm not as fucking manic as I am right now, but uh, I blame it on the sleep. Of course I blame it on the sleep. What else am I supposed to blame it on? um, I recognize that I sound very sad right now. I just sound sad because I'm thinking about refs. Really? You know, uh, a lot of my friendship with that guy was I couldn't tell you. It was, I couldn't call it entirely mutually manipulative. I think he really had something with us for a decent bit there. Um, we were kind to each other. We were like, we were buddies and all that. We were kind. But, you know, all things must come to an end and all that, but God. Why the fuck am I talking about this here? I'm not the fucking victim. Or through way worse shit. Harder place. You gotta get your life back in order. And the hard place. Hard place is death. The hard place, the hard place you avoid. Just, like, on the sole basis that it's scary. You just stay in the easy place because it's the easy place. And the easy place is a very hard place. Um, and that's why it makes me so fucking sad when my friends are just lying in wait in the easy place because uh, good lord, some people just fucking need somebody. And I would be fucking down to be that person if I if I if I could just like get past the fucking rule, right? The taboo of coming off too fucking strong at the beginning of the fucking conversation, because that's not how you're supposed to get to a person. You gotta mutually manipulate each other first in order to get to the good stuff, in order to get to the fucking good part. You gotta have all the small talk. You gotta have all the fucking. You gotta have. You gotta have like at least a fucking month of small talk before you can actually get to each other's internal world. Ugh. And it's just like, fine. You know what? That's what you fucking sign up for when you're getting into sociality and all. That's what you fucking sign up for. And if not, you can kill yourself about it. If not, you can kill yourself about it. Is what I'm saying. And I haven't really given that much of a case of why you shouldn't. And I'll eventually come up with that. But right now, I'm getting side. I think to get into that now would be a sidetrack, and that's a topic for later. But it's all just Rules make me sad. I got it. Boundaries of comfort and all that. But at a certain point, you gotta think, isn't it hurting you? Isn't it hurting you to live under the guise of just someone else? You know, trying to be yourself, but all that comes out is other people's signs. Trying to be yourself, but all that comes out is nothing. A blatantly forgettable character. Someone who isn't even unique in the slightest. Someone who's just fucking normal. And bog standard and everything. Wouldn't you like to be that guy? A guy who has nothing interesting about them. Spend their time doing God knows what, feeling depressed about it, but never taking the initiative to do the thing. Never go into the harder place, never go into the hard place, just existing as an easy fucking person. Speaking easy. Never speaking hard. Always having easy friendships, never having hard friendships. Never seeking out hard friendships except when it's with a girl. And even then, you don't seek out a hard friendship. You seek out an easy friendship that has the signs of a hard friendship. That's what you're seeking out. I can fucking read directly through you. No, I can't. I'm just as lost as anyone. I'm just as lost as anyone is. I'm sorry. I'm just as lost as anyone is. I'm sorry. But I know that I hate this. I know that I hate, I know that I hate having to worry about coming off too strong. Coming off as trying too hard to be an anomaly. Coming off as trying too hard to fucking, like... Because, you know, someone's gonna feel fucking weird about, contacting me through this good old Minecraft web series of mine. I have a Minecraft series. I'm running a series that is about Minecraft. It's not a Minecraft web series. It's a series that is about Minecraft. It's a Let's Play. Someone's gonna feel weird about that. Even if I say it's okay, you know, I could, you know, theoretically make it as fucking clear as day that I want someone to talk about me. Talk to me, not about me. Talk to me directly. If you talk about me, that's a bad thing. That's something that you should check out yourself. You gotta self-evaluate and all. But no matter how clear I can make it, there will always be some fear instilled within the onlooker that, oh, you know, this is a time that has since passed. I am currently listening to a dead person talk. These cries for help aren't there. They're just like the product of the thing that was made. This is not a reflection of the person that made it. It's a reflection of the time of a person, of a given point in time at which the person who made it was at. That means I'm gonna feel fucking awkward as fuck if I try to talk to him. I'm gonna feel awkward as fuck if I try to reach out. You know, tell them everything is okay when they explicitly fucking asked for it. And on all that. Because, you know, I was thinking, right? Someone I know had initially did this a lot later in the, a lot earlier in the day, a lot earlier in the week. Released a song that was all voice memos comprised by calls for help. And what do? Like a good onlooker, like a good onlooker, like a good healthy onlooker, I ignored those cries for help, and I went and recorded this video. Because I'm a good passerby. Motherfucker was fighting for her life, and I was just... This probably still doesn't apply. The thing is, I'm worried because like a lot of the friends seem to be in that kind of camp. That camp, if you look at my website at xou.neocities.org/texts, I have a decently resembling schizophrenic, but not actually schizophrenic, rant regarding demons and devils. The devils are less important because they don't really affect me much. They might affect you, though. The devils are shareholders. The devils are the people running big tech. The devils are the people running everything regarding the algorithm and what we see. The devils are those with, you know, the devils are those who do not with malevolence but out of profit incentive. Because it's just like easier, you know. It's not malice. It's just that everything that manages to make their economy stimulated just sucks for everyone else involved. I don't think there's any conspiracy. I think it's just really dumb and short-sighted greed the whole way down. But anyway, I digress. I see demons as the kind of people who are victims of this kind of cycle, who adopt the manners of speaking as just their entire thing. No internal world to speak of, just 100% husk. And I suppose I'm making such a dramatic reduction there. You know, but the point is that they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe in their own, like, in their own body. They don't feel safe in their own friend circles. They don't feel safe in their own, like, speaking their own words. They're not speaking their own words. They're speaking other people's words just for no reason. Well, no, there is a reason, and that's because it's just the best way. It's just the best way to do it. It's just the best way to make friends, to speak other people's words and not even try to meet anyone on a deeper level, because they're always just going to be closed off. You have to accept that you are never going to know me. You have to accept that you are never going to know me at a deeper level. You have to accept that I am going to be casual friends with you all the time, and we... I was thinking a name and drop it. I was thinking name dropping a few names there. But I didn't. But I don't know when I would be able to say it again if I didn't have this soapbox to do this thing for me. I don't know. Isn't it just fucking stupid that... Isn't it just fucking stupid, though, that, like, it's... It's just become ever so easier to just make yourself not be productive at all. To make yourself not enjoy life at all. To make yourself not enjoy anything at all. Because you just fucking burn yourself out trying to get a sense of novelty from every new post on an algorithm, from every new fucking whatever the fuck on it, whatever the fuck. Just time passing, time passing, time passing, time passing, and then you're dead. And isn't it fun that you can just get to watch all your friends just do that? Whilst you're also expected to do that as well. And this isn't applicable to any of my friends, of course. Like, I choose my own circles very carefully. It was just that song that sent me into a fucking spiral. Because I've seen how the public treats them. Using other people's words, never their own. Only being able to speak in hyperbole as opposed to, like, you know, real thematic analysis and all that. Not that there is really... Oh no, I think there is thematic analysis to be made, it's just, you know, shallow, because it's fun music, you know? It's music made for fun. Sometimes it's a cry for help. I want to throw up. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to help anyone. I don't know how to help anyone if I'm still feeling so fucking insular myself. I don't know how to unmake a demon. I want to unmake a demon. I want to be able to learn how to unmake a demon just so that I can make friends out of nothing, basically. Make a like-minded person out of someone who has absolutely nothing to say or speak of. But then I think of that, and I circle back to that whole thing I was talking about, that mutual manipulation code that I feel like everybody's constantly sticking by. It's just like, fuck it, you know? It's gone. You're either lucky enough to find a group of people who make you not want to kill yourself, or one friend, one fucking friend who who is as invested in yourself as you are. Or, second option, you don't. Take the easy way out. Take the easy way out. Live an easy life. Live an easy life, just constantly regretting the everything and making everything a lot harder than it needs to be. And maybe. How the fuck are you supposed to get to the point? How the fuck are you, like, naturally supposed to get to the point at which everything becomes nicer? Everything, like, all the people that surround you become kinder. All the people that surround you become, like, just these, just better people for you to be around. How are you supposed to get to that point without already having someone in your corner there? You have to be able to be your own filter. I suppose. I'm unsure. I don't want to kill the demons. I don't believe that they're my enemy. I believe that... I do believe, however, that if I fall into some bad habits again, I will become a demon. And I will soon find myself into rock bottom again. Because right now I'm actually feeling pretty happy. Right now I'm actually feeling like healthy. I feel I don't feel like I can do anything, of course. Like, I'm still struggling with the with motivation to do art. But like socially I'm doing okay. You know, still progressively trying to get back up to being comfortable in my own body again and like just living. But it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some getting there, I think. And I think it's already so much of a blessing for me to be as motivated as I am to turn everything around, to be able to live a harder life. Just because I can, like, because I find joy in it. I mean, no, I don't find joy in it as it's happening, but I find joy in it. Like, just in retrospect, every day has been so fucking memorable, and I think I prefer that. I think I prefer just experiencing a bunch of shit to not. I prefer just, again, not letting a fucking algorithm dictate what the fuck I see, and just letting myself be the person who I want to be. And, uh, and seek out the things that I want to seek out. Like, render my own internal mythologies to just be who I want to be. Um, Things are what they are. I think the important thing has always been to remember that things are not what anyone says they are. No matter how objective the description, no matter how perfect the sign is. And you can see that when you try to describe the color red to a blind person. You can't. It's the logical limit. it's predicated on knowledge that the person you're trying to communicate doesn't have. And you know, a lot of ways to apply that to religion. There's a lot of ways to apply that to religion too. I wouldn't like doing that. I think there is a God. I just don't think anybody's written it down properly. Because how the fuck are you supposed to? Like, realistically, you're given divine intervention, right? Fuck are you supposed to do to spread that word? The actual fuck are you supposed to do to spread that word, really? Because no matter what, the divine is always going to be filtered by you, this imperfect fucking being, this being that is so flawed, that is so just terrible in all facets, that every single thing that you see is through a specific lens, and everything and every further diluted by the fact that every single thing you say is a lie. Not a lie, but a simulacrum of something that, you know, it's it it's describing the color red to a blind person. It's describing God to humanity. Is describing the color red to a blind person. You can't fucking do it. And you know, maybe I just fucking tell myself that there's a God to comfort myself. You know, like that's just a valid fucking reason. I like imagining that there's some objective truth out there, and that nobody is, and that nobody can write about it because it's fucking it's God. But I just say that to make myself comfortable with the position in which I'm in. And to a degree, I also think that's the root of what religion is too. But fucking whatever, that's political as all hell. Who said I wasn't gonna get into politics? Fuck. This entire thing has been political, really. I. It's always been. When I invented, quote unquote, the word semiotoclasm, I recognized that I didn't recognize at the time that Roland Barthes had already used that like 50 years before me. Except it was semioclasm, a lot more beautiful way of saying it, without the extra toe, making my thing sound like a semi-auto machine gun clasm, like we're going out and destroying semi-autos with semi-autos. And essentially, in the context of semi-autoclasm, was that it's 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 fucking political. Of course, it's political. Like a fucking course, like taking the social order and reconstructing it is, bro. What do you fucking know? That's politics. But who fucking knows? I just know that I would just love it a lot more if honesty really was the virtue that I was taught it was in kindergarten. Instead of having to dilute it for every single person in a mildly serious social setting. To be able to ease my way into knowing someone. Because I think I lost that ability. I don't... I mean, I can train it again, of course. I don't entirely believe that I've lost it, but I just think it would be a lot fucking easier if I just think it would be a lot fucking easier if I... Fuck, I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry. I didn't really mean it. I thought... I thought a lot of things were okay when they weren't. I thought a lot of things weren't okay when they were. So what does this mean? It means that everything's okay, of course. It means that you need to go to sleep as soon as fucking possible. Well, no, as late as fucking possible, because you need to get to a sleep schedule first. Fuck! Keep losing it. I'm just mad at people who are just convinced that they can't take the harder way. A fucking course, like... A fucking course, every time you try, it fails. It doesn't fucking work. It's a rage game. What you are signing up for is game a game of manipulation, a game of strength, a game of persistence, a game of patience, in order to live a harder life that reaps the best rewards. And you might say, well, I can't fucking do that. I'm not wired that way. And the only thing you can do by that point is die about it. Like, I can't fucking say anything beyond that. I can't say anything that'll convince you otherwise to take the harder way. It's just that's it. That's, you truly fucking believe that's the way you're wired, which I don't. Then go die about it. I have no fucking idea how I'm gonna convince you about that. But if you sincerely want to see life for what it is, as opposed to what you want it to be, as opposed to the horrors that you keep expecting it to be, as opposed to the everything that is bad about it, constantly seeing it everywhere. You want to see nice things instead of bad things? You want to live life harder instead of easier? It's gonna take persistence. You're gonna feel like you can't do it. You're gonna feel like all the instructions I'm giving you are too fucking vague for it to make any difference. And then you're gonna give up, and then rediscover it, and then give it up, and then give up again, and then rediscover it, and then give up again, and then rediscover it. It's a process that has no guarantee of being reaped, really. You just have to fucking try. Try and try and try and try again to break the inertia and get yourself back into a circadian rhythm of fucking swings and of mood swings and all that. Just being able to live. And you truly think that you're too weak for that? That's not the way that you're wired? That's just infeasible to expect you to do? Sometimes it is. I wouldn't expect someone who has, like, a crippling disability to be able to do that. That's that's why we have that's why America has extremely fucking flawed safety nets and for disabled people in place, but you know, you're fucked either way. Um I don't believe that unless you have a I don't believe that sorry, unless you have such a debilitating illness that you can't pick yourself back up. A debilitating ailment. I truly do believe that everybody has the perseverance and patience within them, so long as they break the inertia. Which is the hardest part. I The hardest part is just breaking the inertia. And then not falling back into it again. Because you're gonna fall back into the inertia, and then, you know, stay sedentary for like a month or two, and then fall back in, and then try to climb back out. Oops, you're back in inertia. Climb back out. Oops, you're back in. Climb back out. Oops, you're back in. You're fucking Sisyphus. You're Sisyphus, but you're not happy. What gives? Climb back up. Fall back down. Climb back up. You fall back down. And then you realize you're Sisyphus. So you can be happy. There couldn't have been a better line to end that on. I think I'm ready to actually play the game now. I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game. Look at me playing a game. Like, look at this sign. I could have placed down a fucking down arrow in the background of this fucking sign, but I didn't. I'll live with that. But that's a mistake that I can rectify. That wasn't even my fault. It's fine. I don't think there are villages in this version anyway. Were there enchantments? I don't know. Was there anything that made the meta of the meta? I don't know. Maybe. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you jack shit. It's hard to say I love my friends platonically. For all the reasons that I just described, I do not believe a casual friendship to be necessary. Though I think my friends all agree that to call it anything other than platonic would be creepy and weird. So for the sake of semantic shortcuts, we will refer to ourselves as strictly platonic friends, because that is technically what we are. Even though I do not believe that is, like, recognizable. It's just, if... I'm done. I've said all I've needed to say about this. It's done. I've said it. Over these past two videos, I have just been saying shit that I felt like I had been fucking struggling with alone. The artistic ego thing and the language thing that I covered today. And this too is going up on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And it feels freeing almost. That a prospective future friend can look up at this video and see... First off, first impression, oh my fucking god, this person is so erratic, why would I ever be friends with them? Second, oh, that's what this person is about, you know? Like, fucking... This person is just, like... I don't know. I don't like using the word sincerity, because sincerity implies something carried by word to me. Sincerity implies a direct translation of the mind to word, which I do not believe which I do not believe exists. I think sincerity is playing a character. It's a character based on your perception, sure, but it is still a character, I think. That's why I still see this as a masquerade, really. Because, no matter what, the self doesn't exist. It's constantly changing. It's... You wake up one day, you're a different person from the last day. I have never seen a single iteration more immediately apparent than right now. When recording these Minecraft videos, video 1, I was lethargic as all fuck. Basically barely stringing together sentences. 2, I was, you know, decently lucid and all. Episode 3, right now. I'm going fucking insane. I don't know. I feel fast. I feel manic. I feel mainly the main thing is that I just feel tired. But do I blame myself for feeling tired? Answer that question is what the fuck? Yes. I was like, really? Should I blame myself for being tired? And also, like, what the fuck? You did this to yourself. You are going to die for your sickness. I just made a reference to an Active Denial System song. I fuck with Active Denial System's music. I can't I can't fucking lie. He makes some fucking like amazing fucking shit. I think he's a bitch. I think he is a visionary, and I think he is also a bitch. One of those guys living the easy way that I had outlined previously in the video, which I again can't really blame anyone for taking the route, of course. It's what we recognize as depression, and certainly just telling someone to get out of it is, you know, least cogent argument to make. Nor is it even really possible for a given subset. But I truly believe someone like Active Denial Systems could very well get themselves out of the rut that they're in. Not just if they wanted to, but no, if they wanted to. I think that's all this is. I think it's a matter of want. Are there creepers again? Because let's face it, right? Fucking... It's hard. It's hard to want to make your life harder for no apparent reason. For what appears to be a life of working at Goodwill and making nothing for the rest of your life. But I think that is the symbols of it all. I think that is the symbols of it all, and not living life for how it is. Good lord, these fucking creepers. Like, of course, you gotta fucking work in a dead-end job. It's fine. We gotta work at a dead-end job. And it's hard to notice the beauties of everything whilst working at a dead-end job and also being depressed and bored out of your fucking mind. But I think that everything good comes out of boredom. When you're bored as fuck, you make internal worlds. You make interesting art. Fuck. You make art that is interesting, and you make art that is, you know, leaves your place. I don't really give a fuck about leaving my place here. I just want to make my experience as good as it can be. My experience of life. Because I just fucking love living, man. Like, you know, one day it's gonna end. And that's okay. I really don't think it should go that much further than, like, I don't know, 80 years. 100. If I really feel like I haven't lived long enough by that point. But it's about just experiencing as much as you can. Life isn't about any one thing. Life isn't about art, nor is it about being a good person. But I think both are integral to experiencing the vast breadth of what you can get out of this life. And I think it's so fucking scary. When people I know, you can just watch people have no hope. You can just watch people, like, just blank out the world right in front of their eyes in favor of just looking inwards at themselves. Or everywhere away from themselves, as far as they can be. I was supposed to make a compass. Uh... Cool. I know where I am now. My X is -688, and my Z is 2040. Come dox me. Yeah. And then my other objective was make a bucket. And, you know what I can use this bucket for? I can... Oh. Oh. There's a lava pool somewhere I was missing, but I don't remember where it was. Oh, fuck it. Oh. It didn't get the torch. It didn't get the torch. Yay. Okay. Alright, time for some time to get some obsidian. It's not the time to get obsidian. I can't get obsidian. Fuck! I have to strip mine. That's fucking poggers of you. Like, what the fuck? I'm coming up on 2 hours now. Tell you what, I'll end recording at 2 hours, why not? I think there are people waiting for me on the outside. But it's fucking hard to make friends when you have to adhere by the taboos of some bullshit. And you have to adhere by everything. And you have to run the risk of making fake friends who don't want to reach a deeper level with you or anything. You have to run the risk of not being a good person by asking that question. You have to run the risk of, I answer that question, what the fuck ever. We live and die in California. We live and die for experimental music. But the real answer is I don't live and die for much. I don't live and die for anything. I just exist. I exist to experience. I exist to experience. So, maybe episode 2 me would regard this as a failure. And I know episode 1 me regarded itself as a failure while it was making it, and would much likely have preferred to make a video like episode 2. But right now, as I am episode 3 me, I'd say I did a pretty good job. I didn't name any names. I didn't go anywhere I wasn't supposed to. Instead, I accomplished barely any goals. I don't even have armor, but I got to talk about some shit that was on my mind. I got to talk about, like, just like, fucking, if someone wants to be my friend, go watch this 2-hour-long video of me just playing Minecraft and raving about how fucking terrible I'm being, and how fucking terrible other people are being, and how, like, of course, I need to be entirely clear here before I go. This version of me is not the version of me who exists now. By the time the record button is pressed, the stop recording button is pressed, I'm dead. Like, I'm not here anymore. And you know why? Because I'm not the same person. And you'll have seen that basically in the exact same sense of time. Episode 1 me is dead. Episode 2 me is dead. I would have really liked to talk to episode 2 me, but I think I've gotten a lot of mileage out of episode 2 me. That one's dead now too. And you know, I'm about to die soon. It's okay. Because I know that there is going to be a new me that is going to interest me a lot more, and is going to interest someone else a lot more too. And that is also why I hereby absolve all future iterations of me from having to deal with the consequences of my actions. Because I know I'm saying some bullshit, right? It's I've been awake for God knows how long. Um, I'm not exactly in my right mind now. I I deserve to say whatever the fuck I want. And I deserve to, you know, have people weirded out by it. Of course. But I also, like, I don't know. If someone fucking hates me at my worst, then they might fucking hate me on my best. Or, like, if... Because I wouldn't say I'm like this all the time. I would say that I'm just... stupid. Particularly. That's okay. I think I'm stupid. I think I'm just really stupid. I think I'm just batter screened. Uh mm. But yeah, it's okay. And I think it becomes a lot easier if you somehow manage to internalize and find like logical reasoning for the fact that everything is okay. I can't provide my reasoning. Because if I provide my reasoning, I think that would spoil the fun. Because I think I think half of being able to have a revelation that betters you is just the experience of having experienced it yourself rather than having seeked it out, you know, and trying your fucking absolute hardest to find the thing. I don't know what's that. No. No, I wrote about this in a tweet once. I need to read that out. And I think I'll read off that tweet and then I'll end the video because I think that tweet is a good note to end off on. Uh, okay. The tweet reads as follows. I posted this on February 11th. I high-key solve depression, but all the fundamental truths that solution is based off of are so ostensibly obvious that it has a risk of completely nullifying its effect if I explain it in a way that doesn't force your neurons to fire in the exact same way mine did. And that's how I'll end it. I think that tweet speaks for itself. All right. Goodbye. I hope to see you again soon, even if I feel like I have exhausted the wealth of my conversation topics. I I'll find an excuse to get back on this world. I know I will. Maybe next time I'll actually talk about the fucking game. All right. Bye.